move like that that keeps hitting, you feel good. And, you know, there's a lot of history, of course. We talk about the conversation of how good and coordinated they were. Well, we have what is a quote-unquote grand final style match happening here in Elimination Finals. Seed 1 and 2 are now going at it. A Power Ranger and Wess versus SAC and Kyna. History slightly in favor of Power Ranger and Wess, 8-5 overall. 29 to 21 games overall as well. Only a 42 win percentage on that. How are you feeling about what you just saw with SAC and Kyna and their opportunity to maybe also pull another upset that we just saw happen in Winners Finals?
I think the fact that Power Ranger and Wess are here and not in the grand finals, I think that bodes well for my confidence in SAC and Kyna. Of course, they could have gone down to the elimination bracket, and that's the wake-up call. We already see Power Ranger being taken out, but we also saw Kyna being taken out. If you look at SAC, he's much more healthy than Wess is currently. So far, I mean, but how do you draw conclusions based on 50 seconds of a game? You know, anything can happen with these teams, some of the absolute best players in South America.
Yeah, there were multiple times where we saw stocks get taken away first by Power Ranger and Wess, and they said, that's fine. We don't care, because we're going to draw it right back. This double Dalsum has been working so well for them, but SAC has been that problem. However, over on the left-hand side, no solution can be solved for Kyna's misery that he's going through, as he's already on his last stock here, Sparky.
So if they're taking Kyna out, then they take away 2 of the 3 parts of that standard 2v1 combo that we've seen before, and some of the most important parts, the starter and the actual finisher there. If SAC is throwing out neutral signatures on Axe and that's it, he's bouncing his opponent off the stage, which takes away some of the momentum, so he's not knocking out as early, and there's no side signature from Kyna to follow up. So you take away a lot of the steam, a lot of the knockout potential, a lot of the setup potential coming out from this team if you're able to just bully Kyna out of the game.
That's lessons from Remy right there, as he just broke down the entirety of every single one of those, being a issue starting with Barraza, ending with Barraza. Not happening here, as we see all these stocks flying away. They do have them within a suitable range to potentially find them. That there's not going to be enough. Wess is going to jump right back into another one, though, so that's going to seal his fate, and that does not lead to a starter. However, Cider comes through. Last stock apiece. Plenty of survivability still available for Kyna. His defense has been on point.
Now, we do have both weapons coming out from the blue team here. We have an Axe and we have a Gauntlet. PKO potential on Axe is huge. The point-blank desync from Wess on the stage. SAC coming in with the GC neutral signature over on the edge. Kyna still living in this one, but that means SAC is starting to take damage. Kyna is out of the game. SAC is more damaged than either player on the blue team. Really, if you add it up, the damage combined, because Power Ranger is completely unharmed.
I am looking back at this game and looking at the moment where Wess dodged SAC off stage, because if he didn't, we might have saw that stock disappear or get close to disappearing, and they might have had the 2v1 themselves, going for the big play because he knew he needed it at the end, and they were able to get around it. That mattered so much as Power Ranger and Wess sealed the first game.
And a lot of that was done off the back of Power Ranger. If you look at everybody else's damage numbers, 452, 453, and 448 from SAC, Kyna, and Wess, respectively. But Power Ranger is the outlier in the game. He did 622 damage, and he also took the least damage of everybody. I'm going to direct your eyes to the second from the bottom graph, which is Power Ranger's graph, and you're going to see a very long flat line where he straight up just didn't take damage. You see it there. Second graph from the bottom, that is Power Rangers. You see that very long flat line. He took like two more or less units of damage. He got hit once, he got hit a second time, and then just didn't get hit. And that's why we see his damage number being only 460 compared to the mid to upper 500s from everybody else.
I don't think it can be stressed enough how difficult that is to pull off when there's 3 other bodies around you that can hit you, especially with the coverage range that said bodies have with their weapon choices. So the fact that he was able to dodge around that so much means that Power Rangers, A, feeling some type of way about being here in Elimination Finals, B, is playing out of his mind when you have that happen. Now, I think that if you're looking at that, if you're SAC and Kyna, you know, their target was Kyna, you're going to need to find a way to get that target focused on the Power Ranger going into Game 2.
So we're going to look back at this graph after this game because this next game is starting, but there are like multiple moments where I think South America might just be the best region at not taking damage. because there were like 4 different times where there were just completely flat horizontal lines. And we'll look at that after this game, but we're moving into this one. We are on Demon Island as we get into game 2. Still the same character picks coming out from everybody. Wess in Power Ranger, despite all of the Ulgrim, despite all of the Lance that is in vogue right now in 2v2s, Wess in Power Ranger, who somewhat spearheaded that campaign, are now on the double Rayman, and they made sure to take SAC out.
That was after Wess got hit off stage, and he said, oh, cool, thanks for propelling me out here. I'm going to finish this with a side air. Also, if you happen to get a single straight line on Demon Island with these 4 players, you deserve a BCX title by itself. Wess is going to go ahead and find his exit stage left as SAC answers, and he finds a double KO to get them back in.
That's what I would have expected from SAC over using the InSig like we saw previously, especially because you're on Demon Island. Like if you do a down signature, you're likely going to send at an upper 45-degree angle, which is a faraway blast zone. If you go with the InSig, there's the possibility to bounce off the stage, which takes away, SAC now put on final stocks. We have 4 stocks to 4, but 3-1 on the red team to 2-2 on the blue team. 100% going to favor the blue team.
So well played because Wess got the neutral lights to send Kyna off to the side, and they instantly jumped, and they jumped him again!
My
He's about to get knocked off the top. Nair sends him back down. He almost got knocked out. He dodged the neutral lights at the very end, but like, I don't know what else he's going to dodge. You better help out SAC ASAP. I don't care if Kyna's not been hit at all. You're going to have to get in the middle of there now.
I think the only reason they didn't actually get the knockout there is because like Wess didn't have anything more that sent up. He didn't have a recovery there to use. Like he was a Pokemon, and you were saying tackle him, and he was like, I can't. I don't have any left.
Oh my God.
There's no more tackles left. It's 0 out of 18.
No point usage left. Weapon toss down ends that. Sparky, SAC also was eliminated by the time it was like the 6-minute 20-second mark.
Yep.
That was That was domination. Once again, I know I've said that a couple times tonight, but as we see this right here, getting juggled again, tries to cover high, cover low, doesn't matter. Kyna gets hit by the side air. All right, well, let's talk about game number 3 because I don't know what else to mention with game number 2.
Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. I mean, where they're playing Dawson, so Great Balls of Fire as they are throwing those out with those Yoga Flames. Just a completely different story than anything that we saw previously. Just the wake-up from Wess in Power Ranger that game. They're likely going to force some legend swaps coming out from the red team.
Well, taking a look at your best friend there, the graph once again. The minimization of damage is one thing, but the short amount of time spent on Kyna's stocks after stock 1 was another thing. And also, there was a good amount of time where SAC was avoiding getting damage in the second stock.
Can I point at it on the screen?
And then it just disappeared.
Can you let me point at it on the screen? Okay. So we have multiple different moments where flat horizontal lines. Right there from Wess, right there from Wess, right there from Wess, right there, right there. Look at this long one from Power Ranger. Even those 2 from Power Ranger are pretty long. Look at this long one from Kyna. Look at this long one, this one, that one, that one. It's all over the place. They are just the best at not taking damage for extended periods of time. Even if they lose the game, they're still not taking damage for extended periods of time. Their avoidance is incredible.
You are the best embodiment of the look at this graph I've ever been able to be next to, and I appreciate that. But also, it's a very good point of pointing that out because that game, the last, that being for the previous game, of course, and then the last game, there was just no there was no damage happening, and then it just disappeared. SAC and Kyna are good. Basically, the only way to put it is they need to find that team combo lineup they had before. We're going to see Kyna, however, switch away off the Barraza, not dealing with that anymore.
Is
that a double switch?
This is the double switch. This is the vintage SAC and Kyna that we're used to, this double Bodvar team. This is the comfort pick. This legend is what this team really made their mark on South America and really got on a lot of people's radars with. Now, Hammer isn't quite in the same spot that it was previously, but we've still seen post-Hammer nerf that SAC and Kyna can actually still make it work better than most other players.
I haven't seen a successful combo break from SAC. Like in the past 2 games. That's actually been a huge issue as they continue to just freely jump Kyna. There was multiple times in that team combo where he tried to get a swing, didn't matter. SAC currently already off the bottom of the stage. They instantly shift focus target to Kyna. This is once again at 6 minutes, 20 seconds, and there's already somebody on their last stock.
Man, looking at this set, and then, I mean, even looking at the history that I at least remember in my brain, I feel like 8-5 in their career matches, I still feel like Power Ranger and Wess have just like won more than that. I know I'm incorrect in that thinking, but it seems like they just have like no chance against this team, or at least the chance is very small because it ultimately ends up in a Power Ranger and Wess victory. Now, Kyna and SAC have done a great job of bringing this one back, but you saw right there, a few hits, Kyna's already in the red. Power Ranger on final stock, so is Wess, but Kyna could be taken out of this game very quickly. That ends up putting SAC on final stock, giving the 1v2 against Kyna, and that is going to spell the end of it for Kyna. This will likely be the end of their tournament run.
We call that checkmate. There was pretty much nothing that could be done to allow you to get back to stage. Every option was covered. Cider gets covered right there. The emote's coming out, closing it out here with a dominant 3-0 run right through the second seed. Like you're saying, it is looking like no matter what choice they picked, it was incorrect. I hope we see that replay pop up here on that stock where they had every option covered from SAC. I think it was actually right after this. Oh, yeah, here we go. So right before that, we missed a couple parts in it, but he got covered high, was forced to go low, instantly forced into the GC neutral light he had to respect, and then even if he snuck by that, he would have been hit by the reverse hit of recovery coming back anyways. So there was nothing he could do, all because they are just so coordinated once they go after somebody. And, okay.
Look again, horizontal lines, baby.
This is on Demon Island. Yeah, how do you even have those on Demon Island?
Oh,
that
wait,
makes no sense.
That was the old graph. That was the graph from the last game.
There's still, well, even so.